Yo, what it do? What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to Straight Talk TV. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you haven't already, please do me a big solid and hit that subscribe button. Tap that little bell icon so you get all the latest content updates and information from Straight Talk TV. Hit that like button and also click the share button and share this with your friends, family, and rock it out with Straight Mob Crew. Yeah, man. We got that Atlanta D.A. She's back in the news and headlines. She said a lot more Rico charges is on the way, and yeah, she's basically not playing no games with these so-called gangs and stuff. Yeah, we all know what the real reason behind this is. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, the real reason behind all of this stuff is because this lady has an agenda. This lady has a political agenda. Few years from now, mark my words, few years from now, this lady is going to run for some type of motherfucking office. That's why she's doing the things that she's doing now. You mark my words. And when she does run for office, she's going to try to manipulate the people and act like she's been here for the people and down for the people since day one. No. Can't say that she'd have directly, man. Let's check this video out, y'all.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Today is another great day in Fulton County, another great day of crime fighting. We are here today to just let the public know that we are continuing our mission to target gangs, as we believe it is our #1 public safety deterrent crisis that we're in. I have to acknowledge the two men that are before me before I even start. This is the great Detective Needham and the great Detective Davidson from Sandy Springs Police Department.
And let me bring this up real quick. Have y'all ever noticed when it comes to like these Rico charges and all of this stuff, have y'all ever noticed it's only African American gangs that they ever go after? You never see them go after Mexican gangs with these Rico charges. You don't see them going after white gangs with these Rico charges. You know what I'm saying? Like, why ain't they going after the Aryan Brotherhood? Why ain't they going after, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, the Mexican shit. You know what I'm saying, the Mexican gangs and shit. We see this over and over and over again, where our sons and daughters are being targeted for being so-called gang members, and they tell us to accept that because they're locking up gang members. Okay, if you're locking up gang members, why ain't these white supremacist gangs being hit with Rico charges, being put under federal investigation? They out here committing violence and crimes also in the places where they're at. For real. They are. But, you know, what do I know?
This was a collaboration, but you always have to acknowledge those that are on the front line working really hard to get things done. And these two gentlemen have done just an excellent job. What today's indictment is about is the Drug Rich Gang, which is a hybrid gang, and it started back in 2016. That's how far we can document this gang existing. We know that it is a gang that primarily actually exists out of DeKalb County, the Stone Mountain and the Tucker area. But as we know, crime and criminals have no boundaries, and they found their way into my county, Fulton County. I have a message today that you will hear repeated time to target gangs, as we believe it is our number one public safety deterrent crisis that we're in.
I mean, like I said, I don't have a problem, or I wouldn't have a problem with what she's doing if she's really gonna target all gangs, because that's the state of Georgia. I'm quite sure there's a white supremacist gang operating somewhere in that motherfucking vicinity. I can almost guarantee you that. So, ma'am, are you going to go after those guys also? Are you going to go after those families also? For real. Ma'am, I can almost guarantee you there's a Mexican Hispanic gang operating within your jurisdiction. Are you going after them also? Or is it just African American gang, so-called gangs that you're targeting? Seemed like to me the white people put a black face behind this movement just so people can't say it's racist. And they're using another black person to attack other black people. For real. They just using this woman to have a black face behind their agenda. Because if she targeting all gangs, what about the other cultural gangs?
I have to acknowledge the two men that are before me before I even start. This is the great Detective Needham and the great Detective Davidson from Sandy Springs Police Department. This was a...
Like I just said, you can look at the picture right here and clearly see two white guys. Two white guys in charge of, you know what I'm saying, the main two in charge of the investigating and doing all the investigating. Do y'all think those two guys are looking up white supremacist gangs? You think those two guys are worried about Hispanic gangs? Or do they want to so-called get the niggas?
Collaboration, but you always have to acknowledge those that are on the front line working really hard to get things done. And these two gentlemen have done just an excellent job. What today's indictment is about...
Yeah, reading between the lines, these two gentlemen have done an excellent job of prosecuting and locking up niggas.
About is the Drug Rich Gang, which is a hybrid gang, and it started back in 2016. That's how far we can document this gang existing. We know that it is a gang that primarily actually exists out of DeKalb County, the Stone Mountain and the Tucker area. But as we know, crime and criminals have no boundaries, and they found their way into my county, Fulton County. I have a message today that you will hear repeated time and time again.
So, once again, what are y'all gonna do about all the other people? It's not just African Americans.
If you thought Fulton was a good county to bring your crime to bring your violence to, you are wrong, and you are going to suffer consequences. And today is the start of some of those consequences. This gang, as I mentioned, is a hybrid gang. It does include members of the Gangster Disciples, the Crips, and the Bloods. We know that here in Atlanta, Georgia, that hybrid gangs are something that we regularly see. We know that this gang does have some identifiers that...
What the fuck is a hybrid gang? Anybody want to explain to me what the fuck a hybrid gang is? Never heard of that shit. Now they making up shit. They sound good. Boy, they show this using a lot of keywords and a lot of trigger words to describe, you know what I'm saying, these young African Americans that they trying to label as miscreants and criminals. For real. As we all know, every time they label somebody a criminal, doesn't always mean that's the case. Look at Gunna, for example. They not really saying Gunna did any fucking thing as far as breaking the laws. You know what I'm saying? Gunna is locked up because of who he was signed to in the music industry. Who he, you know what I'm saying, associated with in the music industry. When they locked Gunna up, they locked him up on suspicion of speeding in a dark window in dark window tint violation tickets. So y'all really gonna try to sit here and say Gunna's a criminal because he got a speeding ticket for running a stop sign supposedly in dark window tint. Y'all gotta be careful who y'all put that criminal jacket on. And we gotta make sure these prosecutors and stuff is careful about who they try to label as gang members.
Next get together, they use things like prescription bottles and money symbols, and this is in their jewelry and their tattoos, and we see that present here. We have identifiers identifying this gang, but that's not the problem, that people collected together or they decided to use symbols.
Y'all see that now? Pictures and stuff like that is gang symbols. Logos and stuff like that is gang symbols. Y'all know YSL is a record label. They actually trying to say why the symbol YSL is a gang symbol. When this video and picture documented that, you know what I'm saying, YSL is a record label. That's crazy to me, y'all. That's all I know. But let's jump back into this.
It's what they did once they joined together. What this indictment represents is 16 different victims in our county, 16 different incidents of violence, and 26 defendants. They committed crime everywhere from the south to the north of my county, which included Union City, Atlanta, and Sandy Springs. The earliest crime committed that is captured in this indictment is a 2018 carjacking. The latest was committed just this month. We are aware that crimes have occurred in other jurisdictions, but what this indictment primarily covers are the 16 crimes that committed here in Fulton County. The victims, they do not discriminate, but what they did do is target people who show their wealth on social media. So I do have a message for the public. Where it is kind of fun to put your things on social media and show off, unfortunately, these gangs are becoming more savvy, more sophisticated in the way that they target you. And this is a way that we know that they targeted these individuals. And it's because of these great detectives' work where they were able to show that they were following these individuals and using it to their advantage. Some of the celebrity victims included Calvin Ridley.
Man, y'all check this out. This part right here is real, you know what I'm saying, crazy. Now, I can't defend no gangs, and I ain't trying to defend no gangs that's out doing stuff like this. If you out watching people's social media and stuff like that, and then going out trying to follow these people and target these people and rob what these people to work for with their hard-earned money and stuff like that, then yeah, you know what I'm saying, they deserve to motherfucking me lock your motherfucking me dumb ass up on that, for real. For real, that is, you know what I'm saying, non-defensible. Real talk.
who is a loved member of our Falcons, Brad Guzan, who is a loved member of the Atlanta United team, Marlo Hampton, who is on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Brittany Mealy, who is the mother of Future's child. All very well-known celebrities who have decided to take residence right here in Metro Atlanta because this is a great place to live and we cannot tolerate this. But don't be fooled. This indictment also covers other individuals who are not as famous but also had their wealth on social media. Lots of social media influencers. The incidences that are in here is, thank God we don't have a murder, but we have kidnapping, we have armed robberies, we have shootings, and we have home invasions. Very violent crimes, things.
Yes, indeed. Those are very violent crimes. Real. And, people that are out committing those type of crimes, I totally agree. They need to be off the streets. But my point that I'm trying to make is, when it comes to the eyes of the law, sometimes the eyes of the law are colorblind. My only gripe is we don't see the same level of intensity coming from law enforcement for other groups as they do African Americans. We even see this every day on arrest videos. Police have an interaction with a African American. They're so aggressive. They're so fucking mean. They're so ready to do some violence to an African American that they're dealing with. But then yet we'll see a white guy and the police are interacting with him and they're just so, respectful and calm with the guy. Like, come on, sir. Put your hands behind your back, sir. Don't resist, sir. Get on the ground, sir. Like, they're so nice and cordial with other races, but yet we'll see, like, for instance, this incident that just happened with the police officer who pulled over the pregnant black woman. And he was like, why didn't you stop when I put my lights on? And she was like, sir, I'm a pregnant woman. I got my kids in the car. I just wanted to get to somewhere where, there was lights and stuff like that. I didn't want to pull over on the dark street or dark road. He was totally super aggressive with this woman, a pregnant woman. Pulled his gun, stuck his gun all in the woman's face and all of this stuff, talking about he was going to kill her and shoot her and all of this stuff. And this is a pregnant lady. He had no remorse or no care. But we'll see these same officers, interact with somebody else of a different color variety. And, it's sir this and sir that. And so, non-threatening and non-aggressive with these people. And it's the same thing with these gang stuff. Not defending gangs. I'm just saying, if you're going to go after gangs, go after all of them. There's some Mexican gangs that need to be cleaned up. There's some white gangs that need to be cleaned up. For real. There's some Asian gangs that need to be cleaned up. Just saying.
That cannot be allowed in our county, and all done again at the hands of crime, at the hands of gangs. What I want the public to see today is a collaboration of law enforcement, because as they have gotten more savvy, so have we. And so what you have is a collaboration of the Atlanta Police Department, the Union City Police.
Y'all pay attention. And this is not just for gang members. Everybody needs to pay attention to what they putting on their social media. She basically letting y'all know the police have the technology to monitor your social media, and they are monitoring your social media. So everybody needs to be careful about what they putting on their social media.
Police Department. The United States Attorney's Office is here today. The Fulton County Sheriff, the Marshals, and the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. We are working together. We are working collaboratively, and we have a message, and that is get out of this county or expect to start seeing sentences that go life plus, because I am not.
Wow, ma'am. No matter how much you don't like these people, you can't give them life for even a robbery. A robbery doesn't warrant life in the penitentiary. The objective of, you know what I'm saying, criminal punishment was to rehabilitate someone from their crimes. Once a person repays their debt to society, they supposed to be able to go free again. For real. I don't agree with you on that statement, man, but trying to lock people up for life for, you know what I'm saying, crimes that they could serve their time for, and then, you know what I'm saying, be rehabilitated and integrated back into society. A robbery doesn't warrant life in the penitentiary for me. Like, I don't think that's a crime that somebody should be spending the rest of their natural life in the penitentiary for. Locked in a cage. For real.
Going to negotiate with gang members. I am not going to allow pleas. We are going to find you. We are going to convince you. And
Y'all hear that? She's not doing plea deals, but she don't realize it's still a judge and a jury in this courtroom, and hopefully the judge and the jury, you know what I'm saying, understand human compassion, human behavior, and not just on some vendetta, you know what I'm saying, hunt against African American gangs. Because I would love to see some other gangs start being brought up in these courtrooms. For real. African Americans are not the only ones who are in gangs. I'm tired of these people trying to make it seem like our people is the only people who are involved in gang activity. Anytime they want to go after gangs, it's always just the African American gangs. We don't never see these people pulling up on, you know what I'm saying, MS-13 and all of these other gangs and stuff. We don't see them pulling up on Aryan Nation and you know what I'm saying, the Brotherhood and all of those white gangs. We never see them going after those types with this same level of visceral. Real shit. We don't never see them doing that. For real. We gotta pay attention to what they doing. Just because they tell us to hate something, don't mean that we need to just jump out the window and automatically hate something. We gotta take the time to start really analyzing the situation. And then once we analyze the situation, we gotta take that and, you know what I'm saying, analyze it against the bigger picture and the greater scope of the totality of what's going on in the situation. We can't take just because it's happening in Georgia and just, you know, isolate that to Georgia. We got to take what's happening right now in Atlanta and analyze that against what's happening across the nation on a greater scope. That way, you know what I'm saying, we put everything into perspective against the bigger picture. For real. And the bigger picture is this is nothing more than what they've always done to our communities. This is nothing different than the 1994 crime bill that Clinton, you know what I'm saying, and Joe Biden introduced into the American streets. This is no different than the 1985 Ronald Reagan administration crackdown, supposedly crackdown on crack and gangs and all of that stuff. We've seen this time and time again. And it's always targeted at our community and not all communities. That's all I'm saying. But y'all hit that comment section down below. Let me know what y'all think about this whole situation. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me. Tap that little bell notification icon. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. Let YouTube know you want to see more of this content. And also hit the share button, y'all. Share. And I will catch y'all on the next go around. Straight talk.